Where we come from, we each fight for loyalty, for freedom, or perhaps enlightenment. But not here. Here we cast aside our disparate beliefs, our barriers and preconceived notions, and band together as a global force to engage in some of the largest competitive battles this world has ever seen. We are the squads, the platoons, the empires and servers, full of players coordinating a complex game of strategy and tactics. This is where combined arms happens. This is where war comes to play. This is ServerSmash.
Hello guys, and welcome to another ServerSmash. Today we have an epic MergerSmash going on in Hossin between Miller and Woodman. My name is Farah, I'll be your main cast today. I'm joined today by...
I am Redland Bastard. I am going to be co-casting with him today. And we also have a very special guest from SOE with us today. Radar X will be joining us in a little bit. Go ahead and say hello, Radar.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Radar has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to help us get ready for Jaeger, get the account set up, and so we're really happy to be able to get him to experience the ServerSmash and see what it's all like from the casting side of things.
Yeah, and so I guess we'll move into our pre-game show today. We are assisted today, however, by Dots. He'll be helping us finding some fights going around the map because there's a lot of lanes. Odin's will be a ref today, so he'll say his little kind of gig thing later on, and me and Red Lint will be our, the main two casters telling me what's going on and why. So today, who's playing Red Lint?
Today we have Miller versus Woodman. This is kind of a similar match to what we had 2 weeks ago. They're both on the same continent, but there are some big differences. One of the biggest differences is this is a 336 versus 336 matchup. This is the largest thing we have ever done. It's the largest competitive match we've ever done in Planetside, and it very well possibly might be the largest FPS match ever put together. So that right there is a lot to get excited about. And what is even crazier about this game is both sides had more people. They had more people they could have brought. We just had to say, look, 336, we're already stretching the bounds of what we can do. Let's stop when it's still sane. But that right there tells you about the organization of this community and the people who are really interested in doing this. So this is going to be 336 versus 336 on the continent of Hossin. The Warpgates have swapped from 2 weeks ago. Now, Miller is going to be in the Western Warpgate as the NC, and Woodman will be in the Eastern Warpgate as the TR. So exactly kind of mirror image from 2 weeks ago.
Right. And it's Hossin, isn't it? So, I mean, what can we expect with Hossin? I mean, it's very pretty and very beautiful, but what can this jungle give us?
Hossin is so different from all the other continents that we've ever used to do ServerSmashes. For one thing, there aren't a lot of big facility battles. We're used to, yesterday when we were watching the Ezimir match, a lot of stuff happened at the major facilities, the tech plant, the amp station, the biolab. There's really only one biolab here that people fight over at the beginning. It's a lot of small bases. It's a lot of outposts that they deal with. And so there's a lot of base movement. There's a lot of, can we get our guys on there and then can we drop some more on? Plus, there's a lot of tree cover that helps out infantry a little bit, and it also helps out air a little bit. If you can manage to duck behind those trees or those rocks and avoid the lock-ons or the bursters that the infantry is giving you, you have a huge advantage. The last time we were here, we actually kind of saw a stratification of the air. We had the guys who were doing the air-to-air combat above the trees, and then we had the guys who were down below helping out the infantry with their ground pounding.
Right, and yeah, we did see that note that yesterday where Cobalt took the strategic air resources and just kept the air game and just were able to dominate. So, I mean, today, I guess, there's a straw poll we have before we go into that. I think we've linked that a couple of times in the Anycast and Planetside 2 chat. It's basically who do you think is going to win today, Miller or Woodman. So we'll see what you guys think at the end of the straw poll just before we go into the battle itself, and we'll see what the result is. But, so today, on Hossin, resources, we are using the live server client, which means what for the resources?
Well, the live server client is exactly as you normally play it on live. That means you have 3 different types of resources: air, armor, and infantry, and you gain them from certain bases. So certain bases have different pools of them, which means that you can cut off resources. If you go into a certain area, you can take away somebody's resources. If they're hammering you with air, you can decide to go after that. Obviously, on PTS, the new resource system is out, which right now is a current flat bonus. You can't really cut it off, so that changes a lot of how the resource system works. We've only played 1 match with that, and there was a lot of concern about that. But this works exactly as live. So if you are, if you want to take something away from them, you can go and starve them out of their resources, just like we saw yesterday, which is what happened to Ceres.
Yes, and well, that's resources. And what are the rules today then? How are we going to win?
This is a normal territory alert. This works exactly as a territory alert on live. In fact, we're going to have the alert pop up so that everyone can see it. Everyone will be able to see the time, and the game will declare...
And that's why we have our helpful Radar X here today, correct?
Yes, Radar will be the one starting that alert for us, and it's going to work exactly like live. You start off with equal territory, and at the end, whoever has the most territory wins. There is no overtime, which means that we've all been there on live. You get to that base just a couple seconds too late, and it's not going to cap before the end of the alert. Too bad, so sad. You didn't get there in time, and it's not going to cap in time. And a lot of these things, by moving to Jaeger, we also have many other things that allow our cast to show you, and some of those are the overlays that you're putting on the stream fare, along with the score,
true, yes.
and things like that.
We'll mention that. So, the overlay on the screen, and I'll just remove the rules here. We have our new overlay system that we've been using. This is to be the 3rd time we've used it, 2nd time with the API. It accurately records the percentage territories for the 2 competing factions. So currently they're on 44% each because 3rd faction has a number of neutral territories. As soon as a base flips, almost instantaneous, our ticker system updates, and we even have scrolling tickers telling us when bases are defended and saved for you, the viewer, who can see what's going on when it's happening. In the top right, just above our kind of logo here, we'll have the clock in the top right. That'll be for the alert timer, telling you how much time is left in the game, so that'll be helpful without me having to press tab all the time. We actually found that setting. That setting was this little chap right here, Show HUD Timer Alert. We were looking for him all day yesterday, couldn't find him. Gah, it's shocking. Anyway, so this is our kind of scoreboard ticker system, and we're kind of proud of it because it works really well. We do have stats for you as well that we're playing with, and I'll show you now. Hello, why are you not showing up? Alright, I'll fix that in a second. We do have a stats page that we're using to pull off. Stats page shows things like who's got most kills for both teams, what's the the top weapons, top 10 contested bases. It's got a live pool of the global amount of kills, deaths, TK, suicides for the whole ServerSmash today. So we got a couple of interesting things that we can mention what's going on. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, and that's probably what Redland will be mentioning every once in a while throughout the actual game itself.
I know that sparked some conversation, and even some people on the forums afterward about, what was yesterday the weapon with the most kills was the Anchor, and with the Orion close behind.
The Orion was right behind it.
And a lot of people said, "Well, air was so powerful. Why was the rocket pop so low down?" And I mean, the facts. You always have a heavy on a base. There's always a heavy fighting there somewhere. That air doesn't always every single base. I'm interested to see the vehicle weapons go up, down. Is it different weapon? Is it going to showcase itself on Hossin because of the terrain? I think that will be something really interesting to look at this
Just
match.
noticing on the Twitch chat, you are about 2 minutes behind us, guys. But yes, this is on Jaeger. We are on Jaeger. Lots and lots and lots of work has been done behind the scenes by SOE and the ServerSmash guys to get this to happen on Jaeger, and we are on Jaeger, which means you can go on PTS as much as you like. We are on Jaeger. So, that being said, perhaps you should go for our interviews. Go talk to our representatives from Miller and Woodman and see what they have to say.
Oh, you want to move up there, or should I drag them down?
We'll just move up. It's fine.
Okay.
Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? We're here for our fun chat with you guys from Miller and Woodman. Ironmark, are you there? Are you the representative today for Woodman?
I am. I'm here.
Why don't you tell us about Woodman? What makes Woodman Woodman, aside from the butt of all wood jokes?
I think it's the people. People like to roll. They can get serious to do their tactical stuff, but it's pretty much just a community feeling, I'd say, that makes Woodman special.
And your outfits that are taking part today, I mean, was there a lot of interest in who wanted to play for today's MergerSmash?
Oh, there was a lot more than usual. I think there was over 400 that came through. So
wow.
A lot of yeah. And it's pretty much, as far as we're concerned, like the battle of the century. So everybody is up for this.
Cool stuff. Right. You want to have anything you want to ask him, Redland?
I just want to know, what do you have outfits that are, specifically air focused? Do you have outfits that are specifically ground focused? What would you say is the major tactic on Woodman that you guys bring to this as a group?
I'd probably say, I mean, there is air, but air is be very, very specific things with air. It'd be more like ground troops, like SAS style operations, I would say.
Okay. And Justicia, are you the interview for Miller?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us what makes Miller Miller?
What makes Miller Miller? Well, I think the Miller community is awesome. We have a very large spread of outfits on our server, and they're all coming together to work together in this MergerSmash. We had a lot of interest. In the first sign-ups for this MergerSmash, we had over 600 people signing up. So for us, our community really got together for this MergerSmash.
600 people wanted to come here, huh?
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
That is a lot of people. What would you say Miller's main focus is? Does it have a main focus? Is it pretty well spread, or?
Well, that's the thing. We have very large outfits that are casual. We have elite small outfits. We have ENEMCY, of course, that are well known in the competitive scene. We have a strong air, usually as well. So I think we have a bits of everything, and we of course have a lot of the old people from Planetside 1 from Europe who went to Miller.
All right. Well, good luck to both of you, and I'd like both of you to basically just virtually shake hands before the match.
Well,
here,
I'm curious. Is there anything
pleasure to meet you.
to say to each other before we start?
Well,
I just said let the best server win. Oh, I was getting ready. Let me turn my podium on.
Are you doing the speech, Iron Mike, in a second?
I am. I thought that's what I was here for.
Yeah, no. I tell you what's going to happen is we're just going to finish the interviews. We're going to do a little base over video. It's about 4 minutes, and then after that, you can go right ahead into the speech. Does that sound good?
So how long have I got? 10 minutes?
Well, this 10 minutes speech would be a bit long.
No. How until you need me to do this?
Oh, only about 5 minutes from now.
Okay. No worries. I'll stay here.
Roger that. Okay, cool. And I've got the speech for Miller as well. So what we're going to do for all the viewers, we're going to play an overview video, which Redland made for us for today's continent. And when that's done, we'll do our pre-game speeches to rally the troops, as it were. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hossin is Planetside 2's first new continent since release, an arena of tenebrous swampland, multifaceted base layouts, and bioluminescent planets. While the open spaces of Esamir and Amarish favor vehicle play, Hossin is the playground for infantry. Woodman will start from the eastern Warpgate as the Terran Republic, and Miller will start from the western Warpgate as the new Conglomerate. The first ServerSmash lane lies above the neutral Warpgate in the far south. Global Telegraph and the Finger, can gain control of the other's capture point faster and hold on with little surrounding cover. Moving north, Hunter's Blind can be a treehouse of horrors if you aren't vertically inclined. This arboreal base can only be accessed from the ground by way of 3 jump pads. Look for each server to try and gain control of the ground around the pads before making a move in force to the point. Fights here are fierce, and players who don't look above and below are easy pickings for light assaults. One of the largest set pieces in PS2, Gurney Dam confronts both servers with limited paths to the point, and poisonous water that will kill you instantly. The point is a typical powerhouse building with attached crescent, but the bridges to its island are narrow and easily choked, and the water will destroy even vehicles. Look for infantry to secure the point from the air, or for some fancy tightrope driving along the edge of the dam. Nason's Defiance is the central base of the con, accessed through the lattice's central wheel of bases. The caves beneath the base containing C Point offer a unique fight, but the base is won or lost at B. Already an easy layout for attackers to dig in, B Point rewards them even more with a vehicle and infantry terminal, making it practically a mini-enemy base. Nason's Defiance, despite its central location, is actually not the keystone of the middle of the map. This small base to the south of the con is. The victor at Econ Southern Labs not only gains another access to the biolab, they also open a lane directly into the heart of the enemy's territory, with no large outposts to oppose them all the way to the Warpgate. An open courtyard surrounded by balconies and easy access from the air make the point here deadly difficult to hold. An island of the familiar in a sea of new bases, Econ is a typical biolab until it comes to its surroundings. Its connecting bases are tucked behind massive rock formations and narrow canyons that leave attackers on the ground highly susceptible to ambush. Unlike most continents, the biolab does not form a choke point in the larger lane, and attackers will still need to push out of the area to secure their territory. Sometimes referred to as Clegg's Landing after its designer, Hade Skydock is a biolab gone wrong. Only its constituent parts remain sunken into the ooze, with no shield to protect infantry from the outside. Look for light assaults and infiltrators to use the wrecked skeleton of the dome to rain death from above, and crafty vehicle drivers can find creative parking spots inside the roof as well. One of the most unique bases on Hossin, the capture point at Kessel's Antiquated Crossing, lies below the superstructure of the bridge, hidden in a tangle of roots and debris that make close-in fighting a matter of necessity. Vehicle and infantry combat are well separated, so don't be surprised if there are tanks fighting on the bridge itself, while infantry move for the point. The base has good approaches from each warp gate, and both will have equal lanes to A Point. There are many different entrances to the point room, and players that don't keep their head on a swivel are likely to lose it quickly.
And we are back. It's excellent production value as always, Redolent. Thank you very much for that video. Right, so Iron Mike, why don't you go ahead and rouse your Woodman?
Alright, I'm gonna...
I've just got a poke saying, don't make Iron do speech now, for some reason from Gavrilo. Who knows?
I know, I'm gonna
Once at 5 minutes before the start. That's fine. What we'll do is I'll go play the Miller speech now then for everyone, and we'll get back to you in a few minutes, alright? Hey everyone, here is the
Sorry, I've got Gabby my ear rolled as well.
it's fine, right. So here's the Miller speech for everyone on the stream. I've been given a SoundCloud link with the stream, so hopefully this works just fine. Buffering. Yeah, this is what happens when you stream things over the internet.
Soldiers of Miller, my fellow Millerites, we are gathered here on this day for one purpose, for one great endeavor. On this day of days, we are all singularly united in one stoic cause. We fight not for the glory of our squads, nor our outfits, nor even our factions. We fight here, now, in these coming hours, for the very survival of our name and the honor of our server. We fight to retain what Miller is. We fight to retain the very core of Miller, while helping it grow with the new influx of these Woodmen. But the troops of Woodman are at our door. They intend to tear down all that we have built up over the past years, to do away with our noble heritage and our very way of battle. there may come a day where the Miller that we have created and nurtured through each of our tears of frustration and joy becomes too diluted and weakened for us to recognize it as we know it. But it is not this day. I will not allow it. I will not go quietly. I will not give up the name Miller without the greatest battle the heathens of Woodman have ever or will ever experience. We are Miller, and we will endure. Now, who's with me?
That's something awesome. Way to go, Miller. That's a great speech. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yes. Well, Iron Mike, you're free to go whenever you want to start. I know we're 10 minutes till the thing, but you want to do your speech, that's cool. Otherwise, me and Redland, we're going to talk about the game match.
No, I will, I tell you, can anyone hear me while I'm on this? Because then I can just record it and play it to them just before. Or, I tell you what, I'll try and hold down 2 buttons. Let's try this.
Right, I tell you what, Iron Mike, we'll have you do it in a couple of minutes from now. Right, so, Redland, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This game map, we're going to talk a little briefly about the lanes now, okay?
All right.
You've got 336 people. That's 7 platoons. 7 platoons. There are technically 8 lanes. We've got Kesselrings 1, Betas 2, the Biolab is 3, CONZ Southern Labs 4, Nason's Defiance is 5, Gurney Dam is 6, Hunter's Blind 7, and the Global Telegraph and Four Fingers is 8. How do you even begin to split your forces and put them in place? Do you ignore some bases? Do you attack other bases with extra numbers? What would you do?
I think something that we saw in the last ServerSmash here, we've only done one here, so we're working with not enough statistics to really make a decision. But one thing that you saw is that the South has a lot of base changes. You can get a lot of points there because there isn't really anything to run into. The North, you have some big facilities to run into. You have to go through Haid Skydock or Hatcher Air Station or the AMP Station or the Tech Plant, and so I think you're going to see people spending a lot of their forces in the center and spending a lot of forces in the south. One of the benefits of having those 7 platoons instead of 5 platoons is there were some empty fights last time. 240 doesn't scale as well on Hossin. I think the 336 on Hossin is going to feel more like a 240 on Ezimir, just from the space you have to move around in. I think you're going to see the stuff we always see, but maybe just a little bit bigger. You're still going to see platoons of air. Maybe you might see a platoon and a half of air, 2 platoons of air. Maybe one's above the trees, maybe one's below the trees. You're going to see, instead of 2 squads of dedicated re-secure people, you might see a whole platoon or 2 whole platoons of re-secure people. And I think that's how people are going to work. They're going to basically just scale up what they've been doing. It's a little bit harder. You can't necessarily just say, okay, you have this part of the map, because depending on how far onto the map you go, you start getting too many. You can't divide your forces that way. If you tell one four squad platoon and they have more than 4 bases, what are they going to do? They can't split up that way.
The things we're looking for in the bases, and Kessel Danskut Crossing in the north is a fairly mirrored match, so we'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. Construction site beta does kind of theoretically lead if Woodman takes it, to Rushwell Awful and Nom Ravine Overpass, but essentially it's flanked by both sides by large outposts, Haid Skydock and Hatcher Air Station. So I mean that could be interesting. Those could be natural blocks preventing any movement. A Cam Biolab in the last ServerSmash a fortnight ago was freely given away. Whether or not we'll see both sides fight for it and contend for it, it's to be seen. The Akan Southern Labs, that is a base that allows you to get into the enemy's territory. There are no larger outposts. If you can grab that territory, you can then push through into the enemy's territory. So that maybe see some interesting. Nason's Defiance is a really tricky base to take, especially if the enemy has it. So I see a main focus being at Nason's Defiance, simply because the 3 capture points are so far spread out. It's very easy for the defenders, if they have the hard spawn, i.e. by owning the base, just kind of hold on and just fend off attack after attack. Gurney Dam probably favours approach from the east more than the west, but with it being neutral, at the beginning. It'll be hard to see. And Hunter's Blind, I like it because it's like an Ewok village. Hopefully, last time we didn't see anyone fight there a fortnight ago, but hopefully today we'll see, in the beginning, some neutral fights going on. It's a lovely little capture point in the south and long flanks. We saw multiple fights there after the game started last fortnight, so big hopes for this game at the moment.
I agree. Should we have Odin do his ref speech, and then we can get into
Yes.
the Woodman speech?
Please,
All
let's
right.
do that. Where is Odin? He's down in the streaming channel. There you go, Odin. Why don't you do your ref spiel for us, please?
Absolutely, guys. Hello, everyone. This is Odin's Pride on All Call. Today, I will be the game referee, and I will have final say on all matters of the events. Any concerns that you have about the event should be brought to the attention of your server reps. The server reps will then bring matters to myself. Today's server reps on the Miller side is Justicia, and Ange is for Woodman. So if you have any issues, please bring them to those two individuals. I will be responsible for the timekeeping, except we have an alert today, so that's not necessary. And the final result of the event will actually be taken care of SOE and our good friend RadarX today. The objective of today's event is to capture as much of Hossin as possible within the 2-hour time limit. The winner is the server with the most territory at the end of those 2 hours, as determined by the in-game territory control graph. There will be no overtime. There are no immediate gameplay restrictions, so play the game as is meant to be played. If your character not leveled to BR10 by the end of this match, please let your server rep know so we can keep track of what needs to be done at a later date. Please do not delete any characters from the accounts that you have given. If you delete a character, we will have no way of returning battle ranks and certs to the character, and you will not be given a new one. All participants are required to remain on the event continent. You may not leave for any reason. Cheating, using exploits, hacking, or any real-life enemy team sabotage will disqualify your entire outfit and may impact your outfit's participation in future events. All substitutions, if any, will be made at the Ezimir Warpgate. You must check in with your server representative before subbing in to the event continent. This is the 5-minute call before the match start. Good luck to both servers, and may the best team win.
Okay, Iron Mike, if you're here, mate, it's going to be now or never. Wait, hold on. Redland, you need to give voice to Mike, please. There you go. Iron Mike, if you're going to do your speech for Woodman, it has to be now.
Can you hear me, guys?
Can indeed.
Alright, okay. This morning, as I put on my armor, I caught a glimpse in the mirror of the tattoo all of us receive on enlisting. In quadam ligni, firmitate, passed down for generations, inscribed on the great founding tree. It means the strength of the wood. This I know you know, but it means much more. It means, even though we have differences, we are all family. My great-great-grandfather, Iron Mike 001, used to say, it's not enough to just live. You must have purpose. Never before has our purpose as a family been so clear. Out there in the distance, an enemy awaits. This enemy, like demons, not only wants our land, they seek our very existence, our souls, our name. But that is not all. Out there, the true god of Arexis also awaits. A goddess, clothed in golden robes of flowing glory.
Unfortunately, I have to mute Iron Mike. Unfortunately, I terribly apologise for the stream, but it's explicitly clear no third-party proprietary music. Oh dear. Well, I'm sure he's currently still broadcasting his stream to everyone else in TeamSpeak. Tisk tisk. Anyway, moving on. For the end of the thing, we're almost done. The straw poll result, Redland. What's going on there with that?
Actually, I don't have the link to that. Odin, do you have it? Can you tell us what the current straw poll is?
Certainly. Right now, Woodman is winning 52% to 48%. So if the straw poll is any indication, it's going to be a really close match.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to play the last video we have today, and then we'll sign off to Raider X to give us our 60-second warning, and then we can have an alert and get this show on the road. Be right
All
back.
right.
We've waited a long time to be here. Fought in the snowy wastes of Esamir, and on the jagged peaks of Amarish. But this is something entirely different. Hossin. Its very name sounds like something deadly and poisonous, and you would be right to take warning. Death waits around every rock, in every stagnant pond, up every tree. The victor here is determined as much by who uses the environment to their advantage as skill in combat. And even that environment can kill you. Tanks are pressed close together, making them easy targets. Aircraft have to venture below the thick canopy to provide support and risk entanglement, or worse. And there is always another way that you didn't see, for infantry to come at you. Swamps have given us a long list of tough battles throughout history. Burma, Guadalcanal, Vietnam. Well, now it's our turn.
Okay guys, we are moments away now from starting. Raider X, on your call, mate, if you would like to give a 60-second warning, and then we can get this show on the road.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah, just do an all call, let everyone know that we're within 60 seconds, and then we'll go on your alert.
Okay. This is an all call. Combatants, you have 60 seconds till the match will begin.
So where do you think the forces are going to be sent to while we have these 60 seconds left?
Got to be Nason's Defiance. I see that as an important strategic choke point in the middle, similar to Waterston's Redemption on Esamir. It's just one of those important bases in the middle where it's significantly harder to take when the enemy owns it.
I think that whole middle section there, the dam, Nason's Defiance, and the southern base of Akan, all are major strategic points that you need to get a foothold on in the beginning. And I'm interested to see how the force allocation goes at the beginning. Do you just send everyone? Do you try and get a cap going and let them take something and then, respond to it? That's what I'm interested to see here. There are quite a few ESFs in the NC Warpgate. There are so many. Every time I just move a little bit and more of them render in front of me. So.
Yep, right. I guess we're just itchy. I can already see the Reavers from NC Miller really wanting to leave the Warpgate. I wonder if there's going to be many fatalities that usually come out. I'm also curious whether or not the Air Force will clash over Biolab and Nason's Defiance, because it's kind of like a natural way into each other. And whether or not Woodman, from what we heard on the interview, are deciding to keep